Pakistan is a country of contrasts. It's a place where ancient traditions meet modern aspirations. The nation sits at the crossroads of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East. This unique location has shaped its history and culture. Pakistan plays a crucial role in regional politics and economics. The country is home to diverse landscapes. You'll find towering mountains in the north and lush green valleys in the northwest. The south boasts sandy beaches along the Arabian Sea. And let's not forget the vast Thar Desert in the southeast. Pakistan's people are just as varied as its terrain, with 5 major ethnic groups. Urdu is the national language, but you'll hear Punjabi, Sindhi, Pashto, and many others. This mix of cultures, languages, and beliefs makes Pakistan a fascinating tapestry. Long before Pakistan existed, this land was home to one of the world's oldest civilizations. We're talking about the Indus Valley Civilization. It flourished around 3,300 to 1,300 BCE. This ancient society was as advanced as its contemporaries in Egypt and Mesopotamia. Its remains can still be seen today at sites like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. They built well-planned cities with advanced drainage systems and streets laid out in grids. Trade was a big part of life in the Indus Valley, connecting them with distant lands like Mesopotamia. They exported cotton, jewelry, and pottery, receiving metals and precious stones in return. The Indus Valley people had a rich culture, creating beautiful art and crafts. Their writing system, though still undeciphered, shows they were literate. This ancient civilization laid the foundation for the diverse cultures that would follow in this region. Islam arrived in the Indian subcontinent in the 8th century, with Arab traders and conquerors. This new religion would profoundly shape the region's future. It brought new ideas, art, and ways of life. The spread of Islam wasn't just about religion, it also brought political changes. Muslim rulers established new kingdoms called sultanates. The Ghaznavids were one of the first, ruling from Afghanistan but controlling parts of modern Pakistan. After the Ghaznavids came the Ghurids, who expanded Muslim rule further into India. The Delhi Sultanate followed, ruling over much of northern India and present-day Pakistan. These sultanates introduced new forms of architecture, like grand mosques and forts. Persian became the language of the court, and Islamic art and literature flourished. The sultans also brought new systems of governance, changing the social and economic landscape. This period set the stage for the great Mughal Empire that was to follow. The impact of Islam on what is now Pakistan can't be overstated. It brought new ideas, art, and ways of life. The Mughal Empire marked a high point in the region's history. It began in 1526, when Babur, a descendant of Genghis Khan, invaded from Central Asia. The Mughals would rule for over 3 centuries, covering most of the Indian subcontinent, including modern Pakistan. Under the Mughals, art and culture flourished. They were great patrons of architecture, with the Taj Mahal being their most famous creation. In Pakistan, you can see Mughal influence in places like Lahore Fort. The Mughals also loved gardens, creating stunning paradise gardens across their empire. Literature thrived, with poetry reaching new heights. Persian was the language of the court, but local languages like Urdu also developed. The Mughals were known for their miniature paintings, giving us a glimpse into life in those times. Some Mughal emperors stand out in history, like Akbar the Great, known for his religious tolerance. The Mughal legacy lives on in the art, architecture, and culture of Pakistan today. The British arrived in the Indian subcontinent as traders, but they soon became rulers. By the mid-19th century, they controlled most of the region, including the areas that would become Pakistan. British rule brought big changes to the land and its people. The British introduced new systems of governance and set up a centralized administration. English became the language of government and education. They built railways and telegraph lines, connecting different parts of the subcontinent. But these changes came at a cost, often disrupting traditional systems. The British set up schools and universities that taught Western subjects and ideas, leading to the rise of a new educated class. Many of Pakistan's future leaders came from this group. The economy changed under British rule, promoting cash crops like cotton, which helped their textile industry but often hurt local farmers. They also introduced new land ownership systems, having long-lasting effects on rural society. The seeds of many modern issues in Pakistan were sown during this colonial period. British rule brought big changes to the land and its people. The British introduced new systems of governance and set up a centralized administration. The end of British rule came with a price. The subcontinent was divided into two nations. India and Pakistan were born on August 14th and 15th, 1947. This event, known as partition, was a time of joy and pain. It marked freedom from colonial rule, but it also led to one of the largest migrations in history. The idea of Pakistan came from the Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who became Pakistan's first leader. The partition was based on religious lines, with areas having Muslim majorities becoming part of Pakistan. The division led to massive population movements, often violent, with many people losing their lives and families torn apart. Pakistan was initially divided into two parts: West Pakistan, now modern Pakistan, and East Pakistan, later Bangladesh. The new country faced many challenges, including setting up a government from scratch, integrating millions of refugees, and defining its identity as a new nation. These early days were crucial in shaping Pakistan's future. The trauma of partition is still felt today. The idea of Pakistan came from the Muslim League. They wanted a separate homeland for Muslims. The League was led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who became Pakistan's first leader. Pakistan's early years were full of challenges and hope. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, known as Quaid-e-Azam, led the way as Pakistan's first Governor-General. Jinnah envisioned a modern, democratic Pakistan. Liaquat Ali Khan became Prime Minister, working to establish the government. Creating a constitution took several years. Pakistan's first constitution was adopted in 1956, declaring it an Islamic republic. Efforts were made to build national institutions. Regional tensions and the role of religion were major issues. These issues shaped Pakistan's political future. Pakistan's journey has been marked by periods of military rule. The first military takeover happened in 1958, with General Ayub Khan coming to power. Ayub's era saw economic growth, but also suppressed political freedoms. In 1977, General Zia-ul-Haq took power, promoting Islamization of laws and society. Zia's rule had a big impact on Pakistan, getting the country involved in the Soviet-Afghan War. Military rule came again in 1999, with General Pervez Musharraf taking power. These periods of military rule have left a deep mark on Pakistan's politics. Pakistan's path to democracy has been bumpy. After each period of military rule, there have been attempts at civilian government. The 1990s saw a back and forth between two main parties. This era was marked by political instability and corruption allegations. Despite challenges, there were positive developments like expanded media freedoms. The 2000s brought new hope for democracy with elections after Musharraf's resignation. The Pakistan People's Party formed a government, marking a return to civilian rule. But challenges remained, including security issues and economic problems. Recent years have seen more democratic transitions, but old issues like tensions with the military and corruption persist. Despite these problems, many Pakistanis remain committed to the democratic process. Today's Pakistan faces a mix of challenges and opportunities. The country has come a long way since 1947, now a nuclear power with a growing economy. But it also faces serious issues, including terrorism and regional conflicts. The country has a large, young population, which could be a great asset if managed well. There's been progress in reducing poverty, but economic inequality remains high. Pakistan's future holds both promise and uncertainty, with huge potential due to its strategic location and young population.